Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and it's flip through time for our little forest accordion journal. I probably should have called it Forest Fairy Accordion Journal, but a bit late to think of that now. Now it's done. But yes, there's lots of fairies in here, as you know. I have gone through and done a few more little finishing touches. I've sewn around most of the journal cards and tags, well, the bigger ones, perhaps not the little tiny ones, but most of them I have sewn around now. It does have its ribbon, which it probably doesn't need, in all honesty, but I quite like the way it looks, except I didn't do a very good job of sewing this extra piece in, so I've got to redo that because it's coming apart. So that's why I've taken it off. But I do quite like the ribbon around it. All these little wooden pieces, and I have added a few more, I've gone over with some walnut stain because they were a bit bright. When I first put them on, I'll show you the difference. They're very, very light, and they were a bit too glaring, and I thought I needed them to just blend in a little bit more. So I've just gone over all the little wooden pieces with some walnut stain. So let's just go through. I've managed to use all of my words up and a few more of these little pieces, and done a bit more here and there, a bit of stenciling. I'll try and remember to point out all the extra bits I've put on since you last saw it. So let's get started. Let's just go through it bit by bit and hope we've got room to spread ourselves out a little bit. Just moving things aside so we can go sideways. So it opens up and we've got a nice big tag in here, or journal card, whatever you want to call it. It's all backed. This is one I did with Roxy's Weekly Challenge, and I just added a little tab to that at the side. I haven't added anything at the top. Personal choice, decided not to. A little tag which has been backed from the Stamperia Forest paper pad. And on here, so here's a slight difference. I felt it was a little bit lacking here, a little bit. So I have now added this piece of fabric and the final piece of my leafy trim. I had to use up my leafy trim, didn't I? So I have managed to use both the pieces I had left now, and I really like that down there. I think I kept feeling it was a bit bare and it needed something. So now it's got that finishing touch, and I really like that. And on here, so this is now, I'm open them out a bit. So now we have these two pages. That's not quite right. Let's do it that way. So I think I have now added the Fairy Whispers. It was a single piece, and it was just too big the way I'd stamped it. So I've torn it into two separate words, and it just looks a bit better on there, and it just nice on that pocket. And we've got a little toadstool down here, which I don't think was there before. We've got a nice little tag there on the Stamperia paper pad. And we've got our journal card here with this lovely fairy, and that's now been sewn around. Some of my sewing was a bit dubious, a bit raggedy, but sometimes I made a virtue of it and just went wobbling on purpose. So now we have this pocket here with this big journal card. Love that one. That pops in there. Oops, make sure we get it in the right spot. And then I'll pull it out a bit more. This is always quite a tricky one to look through. So yes, we've got that journal card there. What I did also do was I brought some of this stenciling. It was only up the top here, and I decided it just needed a bit more. So I brought down the stenciling a bit further, or right down to the bottom there, just because I rather liked. I just felt it needed a bit more. That's all. I've just realised I missed the little hedgehog when I was adding some of the walnut stain, so I'll just do that now. Where's my yeah, you can see how he just sort of stands out as being just a bit too bright, I think. So I'm just going to give him a little brush with my walnut stain, and it just makes him a bit more part of the background. I think that's better. There we go. It's one of these things you can probably be adding stuff for days if you wanted to. But I will try not to add any more now. Okay, so that's that one. There's a nice tag in here. It's been stamped and sewn around, as you can see. And then on this next page, we already had this journal card with a bit of really messy sewing on there. And then I have added this final journal card from the Stamperia pad. I couldn't leave him out, could I? So he's got some nice writing space on the back, so I've just popped him in behind here. I think that works really nicely. And then we have another little, oh, is that coming away there? That looks like it might need a little bit of, yep, bit of remedial work as we go along. A little bit of glue needed right behind this pocket. Just hold that down for a second. So we have our another little tag popped in here, a little journal card with the cute little cubs backed as usual. It's popped in this little tuck spot up here, and I think you've seen all of that. Fold it in, pull it out this way. Then on this page, nothing particularly new apart from the sewing around this. Looks like a journal card, but actually it's a pocket and a journal card. So bit of writing on there. Sweet little tag here to write on as well. And that pops in there. We'll put Mr. Bear hiding in the forest. And then we've got this journal card in here. So I managed to stamp on quite a few of these journal cards. These are the kit journal cards, so they're just a little bit added to them just to personalise them a little bit. And then we've got the last page on this side where I've added the word wood. We already had, wild down here, and I wanted to put wood up the top here. But I think it would put wood wild, and that when you pulled it out it wouldn't look right. But now I've got wild wood, which I quite like that. Those words together, so that works. I think I did add a bit more stenciling here as well, just to bring that down, fill it up a bit more, and I like that. And then just finally on this side I added this final little, sorry, I'll just move it along a little bit. I did a final little journal card that I had, one of the smaller ones, so I've put that in here with this one. This is the owl one, and I already had added that. Bit of stamping on the back, so that's that tag there. And another little journal card there. Right, so that's that side finished, and then we started again on the other side. And again, I've done a little bit more work here. So as you can see, I don't know if you remember, but I had this lovely stenciling up here with these leaves, and I've just pulled a little bit, put a little bit across here as well. Felt it looked a little bare up here, and I did this stamp of the bird, and I did a bit of leafy stenciling, and it just, to me, it just finishes this little page. Gives it that nice touch, and I put the last tiny piece of leafy trim that I had, I put along here, and I feel like it just looks a bit more finished. So I'm very happy with that. And then we've got the pair of acorns up here. Can't remember if I added that after the last video or while you were watching, I can't remember. But so I've got an acorn up here on this tree amongst all the leaves, and another little mushroom down here at her feet. And I've stamped the word gentle just here. I thought that was quite nice. Most of the words I've put on paper, Like I stamped the word proud and added it to this. But I thought I'd just put it on the paper rather than make it really stand out. I just thought that worked quite well. I did change this fabric piece here. I had the pale, this sort of pale beigey fabric, and somehow it just didn't do it for me. It wasn't enough colour because there's not a lot of colour on here. So I've just used the same green sari silk I've used for the closure, and I'm a lot happier with that there. So I kind of kept looking at thinking I'm not too happy. So yeah, much happier with that. We've got another journal card here with the owl made out of the old tissue box. I'm quite pleased with the amount of packaging I've managed to use on this in this journal. So then we have this one here, and again I've added a little bit more words. This is from the Fairy Sentiments by 49 Dragonflies. She had a sheet of them, and I did show them to you, where I just printed them off and inked all over them. And I thought, because she looks like she's in a garden, I thought this one worked. Leave room in your garden for fairies to dance. And she does look like she's dancing in a garden, so I popped that in. I know we're not in a garden, we're meant to be in a forest, but poetic license. I've decided I'm going to allow myself a bit of license. So we had our acorn on here. I only realised when I was doing these bits of decorating that I managed to use the same pattern on this journal card as I'd got on this pocket, and I hadn't even noticed that. Look at that. I literally had not realised until I saw it when I was doing putting them, going through it and sewing around the journal cards, and I realised I'd got the same design, or the same image there, but never mind. I've got my two little journal cards here from the kit. They're not backed, they're just inked around because they're not too flimsy. And then I can get two nice little ones in there. And let's move it along, fold it up as we go, pull out the other side. So we've got the fairy sleep here, and here she is. She's not really sleeping, but she's hiding. Little fairy journal card. So she pops in there. It's quite tight, but it's fine. And then this one opens out. So I try and make it as central as I can. This one opens out. Some journaling space here. Little tag here. I really like that. That's another Roxy's Weekly Challenge pocket. And then try and move it along. So we've got a pocket up here in the tree with a bird perching up there. Bird journal card. And then we have our fairy playing in her little glade with all her leafy trim. I had a little squirrel down here. That's that. That keeps coming up. Well, I don't know if I can try and... Some of these, because they've gone over the edge, over the join, they are popping up a little bit, and I can't seem to get them to stay there. And this one. Okay. Right, so then we've got this journal card here, which again has been sewn around. Lovely another little fairy. It's actually, until I sewed around it, you almost couldn't see this journal card because it blended in quite well with the background, I think. Especially with this leafy trim. It's all very similar colours, but it's I used one of my jelly prints I wish now I'd scanned some of them and I could reuse them, but I didn't think of doing that, so they're gone. I'll have to make some more, won't I? Oh, that's a bit of funny colour there. I might have to do something about. Okay, let's just fold it in the next stage. Alright, so now we're down to the last page. So we've now got this is the last one we finished, this pull out, which was intended as in fact, probably what I should do is put some writing paper. Now it's gone into a pocket. This really ought to be a writing page, so I might just glue some paper onto the back there. But anyway, it goes in that pocket, and it's got the little tag poking out of there. And this final journal card, final fairy journal card, is in there, backed with some straw paper. And right, so that is it really. That is the Woodland Accordion Journal all finished. And she's been a real pleasure to do, much more than I expected. I enjoyed it a lot more. I'm just going to pop that in a bit further because it's poking out. That's it. Yeah, I enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. I was really nervous when I started because I'd never made one, and I'm certainly no mixed media artist whatsoever. So it was really about play and experiment and see how I got on. And I've loved every minute, I really have, and I feel that quite a lot of you have enjoyed this with me as well. So I will be doing another one. Not yet. I'm going to leave it a while. I don't want to overdo it. The next one will be the next journal will be very different again. And that's what I like. I like to make different journals. I'm getting a bit more adventurous now, wanting to try different things. So I think, yeah, I'm beginning to firm up my idea. I'm just starting to pull on this, which I shouldn't be. Firming up my idea of my ballet journal and how I'm going to do it. It was going to be a standard, normal stuff, normal journal, but I think I might do something different. So we'll see. Wait and see. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.